Viewer discretion is advised. You need to watch this if you struggle with fear of the unknown. Welcome to spine-chilling urban legends from different parts of the world. In this video, we will explore some of the most spine-chilling and eerie urban legends. From the terrifying Teke Teke to the Popobawa, prepare yourself for a journey into the unknown. Let's dive in. The phrase Teke Teke originates from Japanese folklore and is associated with a ghostly figure of a young woman who was tragically killed by a train. Legend has it that her body was severed in half, and she now haunts train stations and rural areas, dragging herself with her hands while making a distinct tek-tek sound. Crossing paths with this vengeful spirit is said to result in a gruesome death, as she is believed to attack and mutilate anyone who encounters her. The story of the Teke Teke has been passed down through generations, creating a chilling urban legend that continues to capture the imaginations of many in Japan. The eerie tale serves as a cautionary reminder of the dangers of trains and the potential consequences of carelessness or recklessness near railway tracks. Reports of sightings of the Teke Teke have further fueled the fear and fascination surrounding this malevolent ghost, with some claiming to have heard her signature sound or caught a fleeting glimpse of her haunting presence. Despite the lack of tangible evidence, the legend of the Teke Teke persists as a cautionary tale that warns of the perils of encountering vengeful spirits and the importance of staying vigilant when near train tracks or desolate areas. The urban legend of Teke Teke is a gripping tale that has intrigued numerous individuals in Japan. As the story goes, a young lady was horrifically bisected by a train, and her furious spirit wanders the streets after dark. She navigates by pulling her upper body using her hands, producing a unique tek-tek noise. Those who come across her are believed to face a gruesome destiny, as she could pursue them and sever them in two with a scythe or sharp implement. The legend of the Teke Teke has garnered significant attention in Japanese folklore and urban folklore circles. It is commonly viewed as a tale meant to caution individuals, especially the youth, against venturing out alone at night. The narrative has been continuously shared and embellished through various mediums like oral tradition, literature, and online platforms, heightening the levels of fear and mystery surrounding it. The Teke Teke legend displays striking parallels with various urban legends across the globe, including the slit-mouthed woman in Japan and the hookman in the United States. These tales typically involve a malevolent ghost driven by a desire for retribution following a tragic demise, targeting unaware individuals who happen to encounter them. The Teke Teke urban legend persists in captivating and unsettling its audience. Regardless of one's beliefs in the supernatural realm, the narrative acts as a cautionary tale, urging individuals to exercise vigilance and mindfulness, especially when traversing solitary paths after nightfall. Like numerous urban myths, the origins and credibility of the Teke Teke legend remain enigmatic, further enhancing its appeal and mystique. Hachishakusama, nicknamed 8 feet tall, is a sinister entity that lingers in Japanese folklore. This enduring urban myth has been transmitted across time, evoking both dread and fascination in those exposed to its eerie narrative. According to the lore, Hachishakusama manifests as a slender, towering woman adorned in a white burial kimono with lengthy black locks cascading down her form. It is rumored that she possesses the knack of shape-shifting and stealthily approaching unaware prey, especially targeting young children. One prevalent iteration of the Hachishakusama myth revolves around her preying on young girls of approximately 10 years old. It is believed that she assumes the guise of a familiar acquaintance or confidant in order to entice the girls away to an isolated spot. After isolating them, Hachishakusama unveils her true identity and commences a relentless pursuit of the girls. Those who fall into her clutches vanish without a trace, perpetuating tales of her unceasing hunger for children. The exact origins of the Hachishakusama legend are shrouded in mystery, as some assert that it traces back numerous centuries, while others argue that it is a relatively modern invention. Nevertheless, the enduring tale of Hachishakusama persists in enthralling audiences and instilling fear in those who encounter it. Whether regarded as a morality fable meant to dissuade children from straying or as a manifestation of profound apprehensions and worries, Hachishakusama continues to hold sway as a significant presence in Japanese folklore. Ultimately, the story of Hachishakusama is a timeless and spine-chilling legend that has endured through generations. Its unsettling narrative and haunting imagery continue to captivate audiences in the present day. Whether interpreted as a moral lesson or a reflection of underlying anxieties, Hachishakusama remains a figure of terror and respect in Japanese lore. The legend of Kuchisake-onna, or the slit-mouthed woman, is a well-known urban myth in Japanese culture. This chilling story revolves around a woman with a horrific facial disfigurement who wears a surgical mask. She targets unsuspecting individuals, posing the unsettling question, "Do you think I am beautiful?" Those who reply unfavorably will witness her ghastly, ear-to-ear grin as she asks the same inquiry once more. Conversely, those who offer a favorable response will unwittingly invite her into their homes, where she will unleash her deadly intentions. For several decades, an unsettling legend has permeated Japanese folklore, presenting itself in numerous iterations and understandings. Some individuals perceive Kuchisake-onna as a wrathful ghost or a casualty of domestic abuse, whereas others regard her as a moral fable cautioning against conceit and shallow conceptions of beauty. Despite its inception, the narrative of Kuchisake-onna persists in enthralling and unsettling viewers across the globe. Researchers and scholars have extensively explored the psychological, sociological, and cultural ramifications associated with the Kuchisake-onna legend. Certain experts posit that it mirrors societal concerns regarding gender norms, violence towards women, and the dread of disfigurement. Additionally, there are experts who examine how urban legends like Kuchisake-onna function as a means of imparting moral lessons or providing entertainment within popular culture. Apart from scholarly interpretations, Kuchisake-onna has also been portrayed in a range of media formats such as movies, comics, and virtual games. This extensive resonance has solidified her position as a prominent figure in the realm of Japanese horror traditions. In summary, the story of Kuchisake-onna remains captivating and unsettling for audiences due to its unsettling depiction of a woman with a disfigured smile. Utilizing a blend of traditional narratives, contemporary media, and academic inquiry, this urban folklore has transformed into a global cultural phenomenon that deeply impacts viewers across various regions. Pocong, a legendary figure from Indonesia, has intrigued generations with its supernatural origins. It is believed to be the restless spirit of a deceased individual draped in burial attire, aimlessly wandering in search of vengeance or enlightenment. Encounters with a Pocong are often linked to tragic demises, unmet desires, or unconventional burial customs. One of the most recognizable features of the Pocong is its white shroud, representing the burial garment in which the deceased is typically wrapped before burial. It is believed that the Pocong is tightly enveloped in this shroud, restricting its ability to move fluidly and leading to its distinctive hopping motion. This unsettling hopping sound is frequently heard during the nighttime, causing fear and apprehension in those who come across it. The oral tradition of the Pocong has been perpetuated across various regions of Indonesia, showcasing differing adaptations. Despite its spectral essence, the reverence for the Pocong is deeply rooted within Indonesian society, prompting individuals to take preventative measures to avoid any potential encounters. Certain individuals hold the belief that by unbinding the shroud of a Pocong, its spirit can be liberated to achieve tranquility, while others opt to steer clear from locales rumored to be inhabited by a Pocong. Although some may dismiss the existence of the Pocong as merely a myth, its significance in Indonesian society should not be underestimated. The belief in supernatural entities such as the Pocong signifies the profound cultural and spiritual convictions of the Indonesian populace. Whether perceived as a vengeful entity or a lost spirit in search of direction, the Pocong remains a source of fascination and fear for those who choose to explore its enigmatic realm. In conclusion, the urban legend of the Pocong symbolizes the deep cultural roots and spiritual traditions of the Indonesian population. The legend's inclusion in folklore and oral narratives sheds light on the intricate connection between the living and the deceased, bridging the divide between the physical and spiritual worlds. As long as the Pocong legend persists, its enigmatic and eerie essence will remain compelling to those who have the courage to embrace its mystique. In Japan, a well-known urban myth tells the story of Toire no Hanako-san, a spectral entity believed to frequent school lavatories. According to the legend, the focus is typically on a female ghost known as Hanako, who is said to dwell in the third cubicle of the girls' restroom located on the third level of educational institutions. Individuals assert that by tapping thrice on the door and inquiring, "Hanako-san, are you present?" the spirit will acknowledge their inquiry, making her existence known. The precise origins of this urban myth remain vague, however. It has been transmitted across several generations and continues to captivate and unsettle students. Speculation exists that the tale of Hanako-san may have drawn inspiration from sorrowful incidents in schools or a yearning to elucidate inexplicable occurrences. In any case, the lore surrounding Toire no Hanako-san has become firmly entrenched in Japanese tradition. Researchers and scholars have delved into the legend of Toire no Hanako-san in order to comprehend its cultural importance and influence on society. Some contend that the legend functions as a moral admonition, advising students against entering school restrooms unaccompanied or engaging in pranks that could potentially disrupt supernatural beings. Alternatively, some interpret it as a mechanism for individuals to manage their apprehensions and worries linked to educational settings. Finalizing our discussion, the enigmatic tale of Toire no Hanako-san remains enthralling to viewers and elicits a feeling of curiosity and fascination. Whether rooted in truth or crafted purely for amusement, Hanako-san's narrative has evolved into a significant cultural emblem in Japan. As the legacy persists, it underscores the impact of storytelling and the timeless essence of folklore. Lan Jie, also known as the Hungry Ghost Festival Chinese tradition, is an age-old ceremony observed on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month. This cultural event holds significant historical importance in Chinese folklore, where it is thought to be a moment when departed souls are liberated from the realm of the dead to wander the mortal world. It is believed that during this time, the portals to the afterlife swing open, granting spirits the freedom to reconnect with their relatives and partake in nourishment and amusement. One of the most renowned urban myths linked to the Hungry Ghost Festival revolves around the tale of the Hungry Ghost. The narrative recounts the story of a man named Wang, notorious for his avarice and self-absorption. Following his demise, his spirit persisted in its insatiable desire for riches and possessions, leading to his designation as a hungry ghost, destined to roam the world in pursuit of sustenance and wealth. The hungry ghost is described as having a slender neck and a protruding belly, symbolizing an endless craving that cannot be fulfilled. It is believed that this entity will torment individuals who have harmed others in the past, seeking retribution and bringing about unfortunate events. In order to pacify the hungry ghost and deter it from causing harm, rituals involving the presentation of food, incense, and monetary offerings are carried out during the observance of the Hungry Ghost Festival. Ultimately, the narrative of the Hungry Ghost offers a moral lesson on the negative outcomes of greed and self-centeredness. It encourages individuals to lead a virtuous life and to display compassion and courtesy towards others. The Hungry Ghost Festival provides an opportunity to pay homage to our forebears and express appreciation for the positive aspects of our existence. Through acknowledging and upholding these customs, we can cultivate unity and benevolence within our society. In the heart of many Asian cultures, the tale of the White Lady is a chilling and pervasive urban legend. This ghostly figure, often depicted in a flowing white dress, is said to haunt rural areas, appearing to unsuspecting travelers and causing inexplicable accidents. According to the legend, the White Lady is the restless spirit of a woman who met a tragic end, often due to betrayal or unfulfilled love. Her sorrow and anger have bound her to the mortal world, where she wanders in search of solace or vengeance. It is believed that those who encounter her may experience a sudden and overwhelming sense of dread, followed by a series of unfortunate events. The White Lady's presence is often accompanied by an eerie silence and a sudden drop in temperature. Witnesses have reported seeing her standing by the roadside, her eyes filled with sorrow, before she vanishes into thin air. In some variations of the legend, she is said to lure travelers to their doom, leading them astray in remote areas where accidents are more likely to occur. One of the most famous tales involves a young couple traveling through a secluded forest late at night. As they drove along the winding road, they noticed a woman in white standing by the roadside, her face obscured by her long, dark hair. Feeling a mix of curiosity and concern, they stopped to offer her a ride. The woman silently entered the car and sat in the back seat, her presence sending chills down their spines. Moments later, she vanished without a trace, leaving the couple bewildered and terrified. Shortly after, they encountered a severe accident that they narrowly escaped. The legend of the White Lady serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us to be wary of the unknown and to respect the spirits that may still linger in our world. It also highlights the profound impact of grief and the lengths to which a tormented soul might go in search of peace. Through these stories, we are reminded of the thin veil that separates our world from the supernatural and the importance of compassion and understanding in dealing with the mysteries that lie beyond our comprehension. In the vast expanse of the internet, where countless stories and legends circulate, one terrifying tale stands out: the tale of the Red Room. This urban legend originates from Japan and has since spread across various cultures, becoming a chilling cautionary story about the dangers that lurk in the digital world. The legend begins with a mysterious pop-up that appears on the victim's computer screen. The pop-up is simple, displaying a red background with black text that asks, "Do you like the Red Room?" No matter how hard the user tries to close it, the pop-up stubbornly persists. As the user grows increasingly frustrated and anxious, the screen suddenly changes, revealing a list of names. Names of those who have previously encountered the Red Room. Disturbingly, the victim's name appears at the bottom of the list. Panic sets in as the computer screen turns blood red, and an eerie voice begins to echo through the speakers, whispering ominous threats. The user feels an overwhelming sense of dread, as if they are being watched by an unseen force. According to the legend, those who see the Red Room are doomed to die in a gruesome manner, often found in a room painted with their own blood. One of the most infamous accounts of the Red Room involves a young student who stumbled upon the cursed pop-up while browsing the internet late at night. Despite his attempts to close it, the pop-up persisted, and soon his name appeared on the dreaded list. Terrified, he shut down his computer and tried to shake off the unsettling experience. However, the next day, his lifeless body was discovered in his bedroom, the walls smeared with red. The tale of the Red Room serves as a stark reminder of the potential dangers that can accompany our interactions with the digital world. It warns us of the hidden threats that may lurk behind seemingly innocent pop-ups and the sinister forces that can reach out from the depths of the internet to claim their victims. As we navigate the digital age, we must remain vigilant and cautious, aware that sometimes the most terrifying horrors are the ones we cannot see. The legend of the Red Room is a chilling testament to the power of the unknown and the dark side of our ever-connected world. As we continue our journey through the eerie world of Asian urban legends, we encounter the chilling tale of the Green Lady, a spectral figure said to haunt dense forests, luring unsuspecting children to their doom. This legend, shrouded in mystery and fear, has been passed down through generations, warning children to stay away from the deep woods. The story of the Green Lady begins in a remote village surrounded by an ancient forest. Long ago, a woman lived in the village with her young son. She was known for her kindness and beauty, often seen wandering the forest to gather herbs and berries. However, tragedy struck when her son went missing one day, never to be found again. Overwhelmed by grief, the woman spent her days searching the forest, calling out for her lost child. One fateful evening, she too disappeared, never returning to the village. It is said that her sorrow and longing transformed her into the Green Lady, a ghostly apparition dressed in flowing green robes, blending seamlessly with the forest foliage. Her once gentle voice became a haunting call, echoing through the trees, luring children who ventured too far into the woods. Villagers began to notice the eerie presence of the Green Lady. Children who wandered into the forest would hear her soft, melodic voice beckoning them deeper into the woods. Those who followed the voice were never seen again, lost forever in the labyrinth of trees. The Green Lady's sorrowful wails could be heard on quiet nights, a mournful reminder of her endless search for her lost son. Despite numerous warnings, the legend of the Green Lady continues to instill fear in the hearts of villagers. Parents tell their children the tale, hoping to keep them safe from the ghostly presence that haunts the forest. The Green Lady's spirit, bound by sorrow and loss, remains a spectral guardian of the woods, forever searching and forever calling. Her story is a poignant reminder of the depths of a mother's love and the tragic consequences of loss. The Green Lady's haunting presence serves as a cautionary tale, urging us to respect the mysteries of the natural world and the spirits that dwell within it. As we reflect on the legend of the Green Lady, we are reminded of the power of grief and the enduring bond between parent and child. In the stillness of the forest, when the wind whispers through the trees, listen closely. You might just hear the Green Lady's sorrowful call, a ghostly echo of a mother's undying love. As we delve deeper into the realm of Asian urban legends, we uncover the heart-wrenching story of the Weeping Woman, a spirit tormented by the loss of her children and driven by a relentless desire for revenge. This tragic tale has been whispered through generations, serving as a stark reminder of the devastating power of grief and the lengths to which a mother's love can go. Our story begins in a small village, nestled by a serene river. Long ago, a beautiful woman lived there with her 2 young children. She was known for her kindness and grace, often seen playing with her children by the riverbank. However, her life took a dark turn when her husband, consumed by jealousy and rage, accused her of infidelity. In a fit of madness, he took their children away and drowned them in the river. Overwhelmed by sorrow and guilt, the woman wandered the riverbanks, her cries echoing through the night. She searched desperately for her lost children, her tears mingling with the flowing waters. One fateful evening, unable to bear the pain any longer, she threw herself into the river, her body never to be found again. It is said that her spirit could not find peace and transformed into the Weeping Woman, a ghostly figure draped in white, forever mourning her lost children. Her sorrowful wails can be heard on moonlit nights, haunting the riverbanks where her children met their tragic end. Villagers believe that she seeks revenge on those who come too close to the water, especially children whom she mistakes for her own. Many have reported encounters with the Weeping Woman. Those who have seen her describe a beautiful yet sorrowful apparition, her eyes filled with an endless stream of tears. She's often seen wandering the riverbanks, calling out for her children, her voice filled with anguish and longing. Some say that if you hear her cries and follow them, you will be led to the river's edge, where she will pull you into the water, mistaking you for her lost children. Despite the warnings, the tale of the weeping woman continues to instill fear and caution among the villagers. Parents tell their children the story, hoping to keep them safe from the ghostly presence that haunts the river. The weeping woman's spirit, bound by sorrow and vengeance, remains a haunting reminder of the tragic consequences of loss and the undying bond between a mother and her children. As we reflect on the tale of the weeping woman, we are reminded of the depths of a mother's love and the lengths to which grief can drive a soul. In the stillness of the night, when the river flows quietly under the moonlight, listen closely. You might just hear the weeping woman's sorrowful cries, a ghostly echo of a mother's undying love and the pain of her loss. As we continue our journey through the eerie world of Asian urban legends, we encounter a figure that has ridden straight out of the darkest corners of folklore, the Headless Horseman. This spectral rider, shrouded in mystery and fear, is said to haunt the rural landscapes, forever in search of his missing head. Our story begins in a quiet countryside village where tales of the Headless Horseman have been passed down through generations. Long ago, during a time of great turmoil and war, a brave and noble warrior was decapitated in a fierce battle. His comrades, unable to retrieve his head, buried his body in an unmarked grave. However, the warrior's soul could not rest. Driven by an insatiable desire to be whole again, his spirit rose from the grave, mounting his loyal steed to roam the night in search of his lost head. Cloaked in ancient armor and wielding a ghostly sword, the Headless Horseman became a harbinger of doom for those who dared to cross his path. Villagers recount chilling encounters with the Headless Horseman. On moonless nights, the sound of hooves pounding the earth can be heard echoing through the fields. Witnesses describe seeing a shadowy figure, headless yet imposing, galloping through the darkness. His presence is often heralded by an icy chill, a foreboding sign that he is near. Many believe that the Headless Horseman is not merely a vengeful spirit, but also a guardian of the land, punishing those who desecrate the sacred grounds where he fell. Some say that if you find yourself in his path, you must offer a token of respect, a piece of cloth, a coin, or a prayer, to appease his restless soul and ensure safe passage. Despite the fear he instills, the legend of the Headless Horseman serves as a solemn reminder of the horrors of war and the unending quest for peace and closure. In the stillness of the countryside, where the past and present intertwine, the ghostly rider continues his ceaseless search, a spectral sentinel of a bygone era. As we reflect on the legend of the Headless Horseman, we are reminded of the enduring power of folklore to capture our imaginations and the haunting echoes of history that linger in the shadows. Next time you find yourself in the countryside on a dark night, listen closely. You might just hear the distant thunder of hooves and catch a glimpse of the headless rider, forever bound to the land he once defended. As we delve deeper into the realm of urban legends, we encounter a chilling tale that has left many sleepless in the dead of night. The tale of the black-eyed children. This unsettling phenomenon has been reported across various parts of Asia, with eerily similar accounts that send shivers down the spine. The legend begins with a knock at the door, often late at night. When the door is opened, there stand children, usually between the ages of 6 and 16, dressed in outdated or strange clothing. They ask for help, perhaps to use the phone or to come inside. At first, they may appear normal, albeit slightly off, but as the encounter progresses, a terrifying detail becomes apparent. Their eyes are completely black, devoid of any sclera, iris, or pupil. Witnesses describe an overwhelming sense of dread and fear upon meeting the black-eyed children. It's as if the very air around them has turned cold and an inexplicable urge to flee takes hold. Despite their innocent requests, there is something profoundly wrong about these children. Those who have encountered them often speak of a hypnotic pull, an almost supernatural compulsion to let them in, despite every instinct screaming to do otherwise. One popular theory is that these entities are not children at all, but rather malevolent spirits or supernatural beings in disguise. Some believe they are omens of misfortune, appearing to those who are about to experience great tragedy or loss. Others speculate that they are harbingers of doom, seeking entry to claim the souls of the unwary. There are countless stories of people narrowly escaping the clutches of the black-eyed children. One such account tells of a man who, upon hearing a knock, opened the door to find two children asking to use his phone. As he hesitated, he noticed their eyes, voids of darkness. Panic set in, and he slammed the door shut, refusing to let them in. The children persisted, their knocking growing louder and more insistent, until they suddenly stopped and vanished without a trace. The legend of the black-eyed children serves as a stark reminder of the unknown and the unexplained, lurking just beyond the veil of our understanding. It taps into our primal fears of the dark and the strange, of things that go bump in the night and the terror of the unknown. So, the next time you hear an unexpected knock at your door after dark, think twice before answering, for it might be the black-eyed children waiting to be let in. As we continue our journey through the eerie corridors of Asian urban legends, we come across a particularly heart-wrenching tale, the ghost of the crying boy. This spirit is said to bring with it a trail of misfortune and disaster, often manifesting in the form of inexplicable fires and other tragic occurrences. The legend of the crying boy originates from a series of unsettling events linked to a mysterious painting. This painting, often found in homes across Asia, depicts a young boy with tears streaming down his face. At first glance, it might seem like a poignant piece of art, but its history is shrouded in darkness. Homeowners who have hung this painting on their walls often report a series of unfortunate events soon afterward. The most common and terrifying occurrence is the sudden outbreak of fires. These fires seem to ignite without any apparent cause, spreading rapidly and leaving devastation in their wake. Strangely, amidst the charred remains, the painting of the crying boy remains untouched, as if protected by some otherworldly force. One particularly chilling account tells of a family who moved into a new home only to find the painting of the crying boy left behind by the previous occupants. Despite their initial unease, they decided to keep the painting, thinking it was just a harmless piece of art. However, within weeks, their home was engulfed in flames. Miraculously, the family escaped unharmed, but the house was reduced to ashes. And there, amidst the rubble, stood the painting, unscathed. Many believe that the boy in the painting is the spirit of a child who died tragically, his soul trapped within the canvas. His tears are said to be a manifestation of his endless sorrow and pain, and the fires are his way of expressing his anguish. Others speculate that the painting is cursed, bringing misfortune to anyone who dares to possess it. Despite numerous attempts to destroy or dispose of the painting, it often finds its way back into circulation, continuing its malevolent legacy. Some have tried to burn it, only to find it mysteriously reappearing in their homes. Others have buried it, only for it to surface once more. The ghost of the crying boy serves as a haunting reminder of the power of the supernatural and the inexplicable forces that can shape our lives. It taps into our deepest fears of loss and destruction, of the unknown forces that lurk just beyond our comprehension. So if you ever come across a painting of a crying boy, think twice before bringing it into your home, for it might carry with it the sorrowful spirit of a child and the ominous shadow of misfortune. As we delve deeper into the realm of Asian urban legends, we encounter a figure whose very presence sends chills down the spine, the Faceless Woman. This ghostly apparition is said to appear in mirrors and other reflective surfaces, her face a blank canvas devoid of features. The legend of the Faceless Woman has its roots in various cultures across Asia, each with its own chilling twist. In Japan, she is known as Nopperabo, a spirit who initially appears as an ordinary person. But as you draw closer, her face dissolves into a smooth, featureless expanse. The encounter often begins with a sense of unease, a feeling that something is not quite right. As you stare into her eyes, or where her eyes should be, the horror becomes palpable. One popular tale recounts the story of a young man who, while walking home late at night, encounters a woman weeping by the roadside. Feeling a mix of curiosity and concern, he approaches her. As she turns to face him, her features vanish, leaving a blank, expressionless visage. Terrified, the man flees, only to find himself haunted by the faceless figure in every reflective surface he passes. In Korea, similar stories abound, where the faceless woman is believed to be the restless spirit of someone who died tragically, her identity erased in death. She appears in mirrors, windows, and even puddles, her presence a harbinger of misfortune. Those who encounter her often report a sense of overwhelming dread, as if her emptiness is a reflection of their own deepest fears. The legend also finds echoes in Chinese folklore, where the faceless woman is said to be a vengeful ghost, seeking to steal the faces of those who gaze upon her. Victims often describe a feeling of paralysis, unable to look away from the blank visage that seems to draw them in, trapping them in a nightmare from which they cannot wake. The faceless woman serves as a stark reminder of the unknown, the fear of losing one's identity and the terror of confronting something that defies understanding. Her legend taps into our primal fears, the dread of the mirror's reflection showing us not what we are, but what we might become. So, the next time you find yourself alone at night, avoid the temptation to look too closely into mirrors or reflective surfaces, for you might just find yourself staring into the void, confronted by the haunting presence of the faceless woman. As we journey further into the eerie world of Asian urban legends, we encounter a tale that has haunted generations, the tale of the haunted doll. This cursed object is said to bring misfortune and death to anyone who becomes its owner. Originating from Japan, the story begins with a young girl named Okiku who was given a beautiful doll by her brother. Tragically, Okiku passed away at a young age, and her family kept the doll in her memory. Soon they began to notice that the doll's hair, which was originally cut to shoulder length, started to grow. Believing that the spirit of Okiku had taken residence in the doll, the family placed it in a temple, where it remains to this day, its hair continuing to grow mysteriously. But this is not the only haunted doll that has captured the imagination and fears of people across Asia. In Thailand, the Kuman Thong, a doll created from the remains of a stillborn child, is believed to bring good fortune to its owner. However, if not properly cared for, the spirit within the doll can turn malevolent, bringing disaster instead. In China, tales of cursed dolls also abound. One such story involves a porcelain doll that was passed down through generations of a family. Each new owner experienced a series of unfortunate events, from financial ruin to untimely deaths. It was only when the doll was finally destroyed that the curse seemed to lift, but the family was left in shambles. The legend of the haunted doll taps into our deepest fears of the unknown and the supernatural. These inanimate objects, meant to bring joy and comfort, become vessels of horror and despair. Their lifeless eyes seem to follow you, their presence a constant reminder of the fragile boundary between the living and the dead. So the next time you come across an old doll, think twice before bringing it into your home. You never know what kind of spirit might be lurking within, waiting to unleash its curse upon you. As we venture further into the realm of Korean urban legends, we come upon another spine-chilling tale, the curse of the Gumiho. The Gumiho, or nine-tailed fox, is a creature of legend that has captivated the Korean imagination for centuries. Unlike its seemingly benign counterparts in other cultures, the Gumiho is often depicted as a sinister entity, a beautiful woman with a hidden, dark nature. According to legend, the Gumiho can transform into a human, usually a stunningly beautiful woman, to seduce unsuspecting men. Once she gains their trust, she reveals her true nature, devouring their hearts and livers to maintain her immortality. The Gumiho's transformation is said to be flawless, with only one telltale sign, the tips of her tails, which she can never fully hide. One of the most famous stories involves a young scholar who encountered a Gumiho in the countryside. Enchanted by her beauty, he invited her to stay with him. Over time, he noticed strange occurrences, livestock disappearing, eerie howls at night, and the unsettling feeling of being watched. One night, he followed her into the forest and witnessed her transformation, her beautiful face twisted into a monstrous grin, her 9 tails unfurling behind her. Terrified, he fled, but the Gumiho pursued him relentlessly. He managed to escape, but he was forever haunted by the encounter, his dreams plagued by the image of the 9-tailed fox. Another tale tells of a village plagued by mysterious deaths. The villagers discovered that a Gumiho had been living among them, disguised as a kind and gentle woman. She had been preying on the villagers one by one, leaving behind only lifeless husks. The villagers banded together to confront her, but she vanished into the night, leaving a trail of fear and sorrow in her wake. The legend of the Gumiho serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk beneath the surface of beauty and charm. These creatures, driven by an insatiable hunger, can blend seamlessly into human society, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Their tales continue to haunt the Korean consciousness, a chilling echo of the darkness that resides within. So, if you ever find yourself drawn to someone who seems too good to be true, remember the stories of the Gumiho. Their beauty may be captivating, but beneath the surface lies a heart of darkness. Stay vigilant, for you never know when you might encounter a creature with 9 tails, its hunger insatiable, its curse eternal. As we journey from the haunted realms of Asia, we now cross over to Europe, a continent steeped in its own unsettling lore. Our next tale is one that has echoed through countless countries and generations, the tale of the Vanishing Hitchhiker. This urban legend speaks to the inexplicable and the eerie, a story that has been recounted in hushed tones by many. The legend begins on a dark, foggy night. A driver, often alone, is traveling down a deserted road when they spot a lone figure by the side of the road, often a young woman, drenched and shivering. Feeling a mix of compassion and curiosity, the driver stops to offer her a ride. The hitchhiker climbs into the back seat, thanking the driver in a soft, almost ethereal voice. She provides an address, usually a house on the outskirts of town, and the journey continues in silence. As the driver approaches the given address, they turn to inform the hitchhiker, only to find the back seat empty. The mysterious passenger has vanished without a trace. Confused and disturbed, the driver often proceeds to the house, where they are met by an elderly person or a grieving parent who reveals that the young woman was their daughter or a loved one who died tragically on that very road many years ago. One of the most famous versions of this tale comes from the United Kingdom, where the ghostly hitchhiker is said to be a young woman named Mary. According to the story, Mary was on her way home from a dance when she was struck by a car and killed. Her spirit, unable to find peace, now haunts the road, seeking a ride home that she can never truly complete. In some variations, the hitchhiker leaves behind a tangible item such as a scarf or a book, adding a chilling layer of reality to the encounter. In others, the driver later discovers that the address given was to a cemetery, where they find a gravestone bearing the hitchhiker's name and the date of her untimely death. The tale of the vanishing hitchhiker taps into universal fears and the inexplicable nature of the supernatural. It serves as a reminder of the thin veil that separates the living from the dead and the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. So, the next time you find yourself driving down a lonely road at night, be mindful of any passengers you might pick up, for they might just be a fleeting whisper from the past seeking solace in the present. As we delve deeper into the eerie folklore of Europe, we encounter another spine-chilling tale that has been whispered through the corridors of time, the tale of the phantom monks. This legend originates from the heart of England, where ancient monasteries and abbeys stand as silent witnesses to the past. The story begins in a secluded monastery, nestled amidst the dense, misty forests of the English countryside. This monastery, once a place of peace and devotion, now lies in ruins, its stone walls crumbling and overgrown with ivy. It is said that centuries ago this was a thriving sanctuary for monks who dedicated their lives to prayer and contemplation. However, the tranquility of the monastery was shattered one fateful night. According to the legend, a group of marauders driven by greed and malice descended upon the monastery, intent on plundering its treasures. The monks, caught off guard and defenseless, were brutally murdered, their sacred grounds desecrated. In the aftermath of this horrific event, the monastery was abandoned, left to the ravages of time and nature. But the spirits of the slain monks did not rest peacefully. To this day, it is said that their ghosts haunt the ruins, forever bound to the place where they met their tragic end. Visitors to the monastery have reported eerie encounters with these phantom monks. On moonlit nights, shadowy figures in hooded robes are said to glide silently through the ruins, their faces obscured, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. Some have heard the faint, mournful chants of the monks echoing through the night air, a haunting reminder of their eternal vigil. In one particularly chilling account, a group of paranormal investigators ventured into the monastery, armed with cameras and recording equipment. As they explored the ruins, they felt an overwhelming sense of dread, as if they were being watched by unseen eyes. When they reviewed their footage later, they were shocked to see ghostly apparitions of monks, their faces twisted in sorrow and anguish. The tale of the phantom monks serves as a haunting reminder of the dark history that can linger in the most unexpected places. It speaks to the enduring power of the past and the restless spirits that may still walk among us. So the next time you find yourself near an ancient ruin, be mindful of the shadows that dance in the moonlight, for they might just be the spectral remnants of those who once called it home, forever bound to their tragic fate. As we continue our journey through the eerie folklore of Europe, we encounter a legend that has chilled the hearts of many, the legend of the Banshee. Originating from the misty hills and ancient castles of Ireland, this tale is one of sorrow and foreboding. The Banshee, or Bean Sid in Irish, is a ghostly figure, often described as a wailing woman dressed in white or grey, with long flowing hair. Her presence is said to be an omen of death, a harbinger of the end for a member of a particular family. The Banshee's mournful cry is believed to foretell the impending demise of someone related to the listener. The legend tells of a time when noble families in Ireland were believed to be watched over by these spectral women. The Banshee would appear to them, her keening wail echoing through the night as a warning of a loved one's imminent passing. Her cries could be heard in the dead of night, rising and falling like the wind through the trees, sending shivers down the spines of those who heard her. One of the most famous tales of the Banshee involves the O'Brien family, one of Ireland's oldest and most noble clans. According to the legend, a Banshee was bound to the O'Brien family, appearing to them whenever a death was near. One dark and stormy night, as the family gathered in their ancestral home, they heard a heart-wrenching wail echoing through the halls. The sound was so haunting that it brought tears to their eyes. The next morning, they received news that a beloved family member had passed away in a distant land. The Banshee's appearance is often described in various forms. Some say she appears as a young, beautiful woman, while others claim she takes the form of an old hag, her face twisted with grief. Regardless of her appearance, the Banshee's cry is unmistakable, a piercing, mournful wail that can chill even the bravest soul. In modern times, the legend of the Banshee continues to captivate the imagination. Some say that her cries can still be heard in the remote corners of Ireland, where the ancient ways and beliefs still hold sway. Whether you believe in the Banshee or not, her legend serves as a poignant reminder of the deep connections between life, death, and the supernatural. So the next time you find yourself in the Irish countryside, listen carefully to the sounds of the night. For you might just hear the mournful wail of the Banshee, a ghostly figure forever bound to the families she watches over, and a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of this world. As we delve deeper into the eerie folklore of Europe, we uncover yet another spine-chilling tale, the legend of the Basilisk. This legendary creature has haunted the imaginations of many, weaving its way through the dark corners of medieval lore. Originating from the ancient myths of Greece and later permeating European folklore, the basilisk is a creature of unimaginable terror. The basilisk, often described as a serpent king, is said to possess the deadly power to kill with a single glance. Its very presence is believed to be so toxic that it leaves a path of death and destruction in its wake. The creature is typically depicted with the body of a serpent and the head of a rooster, a grotesque combination that adds to its fearsome reputation. According to legend, the basilisk is born from a serpent's egg, incubated by a toad or a cockerel. This unholy birth gives rise to a creature so deadly that even its breath can wither plants and its gaze can turn creatures to stone. Many medieval texts describe how the mere sight of a basilisk could spell doom, making it one of the most feared creatures in European mythology. One of the most harrowing tales of the basilisk comes from the city of Warsaw. It is said that in the 16th century, a basilisk terrorized the residents of the city, hiding in the dark, damp cellars of the old houses. People began to vanish mysteriously, and livestock was found dead with no apparent cause. The townsfolk, gripped by fear, believed that the basilisk was the source of their woes. In a desperate attempt to rid the city of this monstrous creature, a brave knight volunteered to face the basilisk. Armed with a mirror and a spear, the knight ventured into the creature's lair. As the legend goes, the knight used the mirror to reflect the basilisk's deadly gaze back upon itself, ultimately leading to the creature's demise. The townspeople rejoiced, and the knight's bravery became the stuff of legend. Despite these ancient tales, the fear of the basilisk persisted through the ages. In medieval Europe, many believed that the creature's venom could be used to create powerful poisons, and its gaze was a metaphor for the deadly power of envy and malice. In modern times, the basilisk remains a symbol of ultimate danger and the unknown horrors that lurk in the shadows. While the legend of the basilisk may seem like a dark fairy tale, it serves as a reminder of the human fascination with the macabre and the mysterious forces that we cannot fully comprehend. So, the next time you find yourself wandering through the ancient ruins of Europe, remember the legend of the basilisk, for in the depths of history there lies a creature whose very existence is a testament to the terrifying power of myth and the enduring nature of our darkest fears. As we continue our journey through the haunting landscapes of African folklore, we encounter another spine-chilling legend that has pervaded the collective consciousness of many African communities. This is the tale of the Impundulu, also known as the lightning bird. The Impundulu is a mythical creature from the folklore of the Xhosa and Zulu people. Described as a monstrous bird with the ability to summon thunder and lightning, the Impundulu is often seen as a harbinger of doom. Its appearance is striking, with jet-black feathers, piercing red eyes, and a beak that can crush bones. Some legends even describe it as a bird that can transform into a handsome young man to seduce unsuspecting victims. The Impundulu's most terrifying trait is its insatiable thirst for blood. It is said to be a vampire bird that preys on the blood of both humans and animals. Stories tell of the Impundulu descending upon villages during thunderstorms, wreaking havoc and leaving a trail of death in its wake. Its cries are said to mimic the sound of thunder, and its wings can create gusts of wind strong enough to uproot trees. One particularly eerie legend speaks of a village elder who encountered the Impundulu during a violent storm. The elder described seeing a massive bird with eyes that glowed like embers perched atop a tree. As lightning struck the ground, the bird let out a deafening screech and took flight, disappearing into the stormy night. The following morning, the village found several livestock dead, their bodies drained of blood. The Impundulu is also believed to be a familiar spirit to witches and sorcerers who summon it to carry out their malevolent deeds. In exchange for its services, the witch must provide the Impundulu with a steady supply of blood. This sinister relationship adds another layer of fear to the already terrifying legend. To protect themselves from the Impundulu, people often use traditional medicines and rituals. Amulets made from specific herbs and animal parts are worn to ward off the creature, and special incantations are recited during thunderstorms to keep the Impundulu at bay. Despite these measures, the fear of the lightning bird persists, a testament to its enduring place in African folklore. The legend of the Impundulu serves as a stark reminder of the power and mystery of nature and the deep-seated fears that have shaped human beliefs for centuries. It is a tale that continues to captivate and terrify, a symbol of the unseen forces that many believe still roam the earth. So, as the next storm rolls in and the thunder rumbles in the distance, remember the legend of the Impundulu, for in the heart of the tempest there may lurk a creature of unimaginable horror, waiting to strike when we least expect it. As we continue our journey through the haunting landscapes of African folklore, we encounter yet another spine-chilling legend that has pervaded the collective consciousness of many African communities. This is the tale of the Tikoloshe, a malevolent spirit from the folklore of the Zulu and Xhosa people. The Tikoloshe, also known as Tikoloshe or Healy, is often described as a dwarf-like creature with grotesque features. It is said to have a humanoid form but with a twisted, deformed appearance. Some legends even describe it as having a single eye in the middle of its forehead, sharp claws, and a sinister grin. The Tikoloshe is a creature of darkness, often associated with witchcraft and black magic. According to the legends, the Tikoloshe is summoned by witches to cause harm or mischief to their enemies. It is known for its mischievous and malevolent behavior, causing nightmares, illness, and even death. The Tikoloshe can become invisible, making it nearly impossible to detect or defend against. It is said to sneak into homes at night, bringing terror and chaos to unsuspecting victims. One particularly eerie tale speaks of a village haunted by a Tikoloshe. The villagers reported seeing shadowy figures and hearing eerie whispers in the dead of night. Livestock disappeared and people fell ill with no apparent cause. A local healer was called upon to investigate the strange occurrences. He performed a ritual to summon the Tikoloshe and confront it. As the ritual progressed, the healer described seeing a small shadowy figure with glowing eyes lurking in the darkness. With the help of protective charms and incantations, the healer was able to banish the Tikoloshe, restoring peace to the village. To protect themselves from the Tikoloshe, people often place bricks or raised platforms under their beds, believing that the creature cannot reach them if they sleep higher off the ground. Traditional healers also provide protective charms and perform rituals to ward off the malevolent spirit. Despite these measures, the fear of the Tikoloshe persists, a testament to its enduring place in African folklore. The legend of the Tikoloshe serves as a stark reminder of the unseen forces that many believe still roam the earth, waiting to strike when we least expect it. So, as you lay down to sleep tonight, remember the legend of the Tikoloshe. For in the shadows of the night there may lurk a creature of unimaginable horror, waiting to bring terror and chaos to your dreams. As we delve deeper into the shadowy realms of African folklore, we encounter a legend that has both terrified and intrigued school children across South Africa. This is the tale of Pinky Pinky, a sinister and elusive urban legend that has permeated the corridors of many schools. Pinky Pinky is often described as a malevolent entity that targets young girls, especially those who wear pink underwear. The creature is said to have a human-like form, but with grotesque, otherworldly features. Some accounts describe it as a shadowy figure with pink hair and glowing eyes, while others say it has long, claw-like fingers and a menacing grin. The origins of Pinky Pinky are shrouded in mystery, but the legend gained notoriety in the 1990s. According to the stories, Pinky Pinky lurks in school bathrooms, waiting for unsuspecting victims. It is said to appear suddenly, causing its victims to freeze in terror. Some tales even claim that Pinky Pinky can physically harm or abduct those it targets. One chilling account tells of a young girl who went to the bathroom during a school break. As she entered the stall, she felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Suddenly, she saw a shadowy figure in the mirror, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light. The girl screamed and ran out of the bathroom, but the experience left her traumatized. To protect themselves from Pinky Pinky, some students avoid using the bathroom alone or refuse to wear pink underwear. Teachers and parents have tried to debunk the legend, but the fear of Pinky Pinky remains deeply ingrained in the minds of many. Despite the skepticism, the legend of Pinky Pinky serves as a powerful reminder of the fears and anxieties that can take root in our minds. It is a testament to the enduring power of folklore and the ways in which it can shape our perceptions of the world around us. So the next time you find yourself alone in a dimly lit bathroom, remember the legend of Pinky Pinky. For in the stillness of the night, when shadows dance and whispers echo, you might just find yourself face to face with a creature born of our deepest fears. As we continue our journey through the enigmatic tapestry of African folklore, we encounter a creature so ancient and powerful that its legend transcends time. This is the tale of the Grootslang, a mythical serpent-elephant hybrid said to dwell in the dark recesses of South Africa's Richtersveld region. The Grootslang is described as a colossal creature, possessing the body of a serpent with the head of an elephant. According to legend, it was one of the first beings created by the gods, but its immense power and cunning led to its banishment. The gods, realizing their mistake, split the Grootslang into two separate creatures, elephants and serpents. However, a few original Grootslangs are said to have survived, lurking in deep caves and waiting to unleash their wrath. The most famous lair of the Grootslang is the Wonder Hole, a vast cave said to be filled with diamonds and other precious gems. Many have ventured into this cave, lured by the promise of untold riches. Few have returned, and those who do speak of a monstrous creature guarding its treasure with ferocious tenacity. One harrowing account tells of a group of explorers who entered the Wonder Hole in search of fortune. As they descended deeper into the cave, the air grew thick with an oppressive sense of dread. Suddenly, a massive shadow moved in the darkness. The explorers were confronted by the Grootslang, its eyes glowing with ancient malevolence. Only one of the group managed to escape, forever scarred by the encounter. The legend of the Grootslang serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and the unknown. It reminds us that some treasures are guarded by forces beyond our comprehension, and that the pursuit of wealth can sometimes lead to our downfall. So as you traverse the vast landscapes of Africa, remember the legend of the Grootslang, for in the heart of the wilderness, where shadows loom and mysteries abound, you might just come face to face with a creature born of ancient power and primal fear. Our journey through the enigmatic folklore of Africa brings us to another spine-chilling tale. This is the story of the Popobawa, a shape-shifting, bat-like creature that has terrorized the Tanzanian archipelago of Zanzibar for decades. The Popobawa is said to appear as a monstrous bat, or a humanoid figure with bat-like wings. Its name, meaning bat-wing in Swahili, is a nod to its terrifying appearance. Unlike many legends that are steeped in ancient history, the Popobawa's notoriety surged in the 1960s and has continued to instill fear ever since. According to local accounts, the Popobawa attacks at night, targeting both men and women in their sleep. Victims often wake up to find themselves being assaulted by an unseen force, leaving them paralyzed and unable to call for help. What makes the Popobawa particularly terrifying is its ability to shape-shift, sometimes appearing as a trusted friend or family member before revealing its true horrifying form. One harrowing story tells of a fisherman named Juma, who returned home late one evening after a long day at sea. As he drifted off to sleep, he felt a heavy presence in his room. Unable to move, he watched in horror as a shadowy figure with bat-like wings emerged from the darkness. The creature attacked him, leaving him with deep scratches and a lingering sense of dread. Juma's story spread quickly through his village, sparking widespread panic and leading to sleepless nights for many. The legend of the Popobawa serves as a grim reminder of the unknown dangers that lurk in the night. It warns us to be vigilant and to trust our instincts, for sometimes the most terrifying threats are the ones we cannot see until it's too late. So if you ever find yourself in Zanzibar after dark, be wary of the shadows and the sounds of flapping wings. For in the stillness of the night, the Popobawa may be watching, waiting to strike when you least expect it.